Peace up to the tribe, wherever you guys might be in the world. Top of the day, good afternoon, and good evening. Of course, this is your brother Samal here, tuning in for another one. You guys see the title, Hebrew Israelite camps are all different from each other. We're going to speak about it today. If you guys want to tune in and be a part of the conversation, feel free. This is an open forum. This is our digital village where we could just chop it up, family. Don P, what's up, my good brother? What it do, what it do? Oh, man, you're not learning nothing new, Don P. We're just talking about the different world views that these different Hebrew camps have. So, for those of you who don't know, I was affiliated with the African Hebrew Israelite community of Jerusalem, an actual body of people that live in Israel, that speak Hebrew. They made the trek out of America in 1967, ended up in Liberia, because Liberia had a policy where descendants of so-called slaves was welcomed back into the country. So that was the entry point back into Africa, and from Liberia, the Hebrew camp at the time made their way all the way to Israel in 1969. It was about 106 to 8 people that made the journey, and from then, history was made. Over 6,000 to 7,000 people reside in the land of Israel. Okay, Don P. So, for those of you who know nothing about Hebrew Israelite, the term Hebrew simply means one who have crossed over from life, an existence of life, or an existence of death to life. So you're crossing over from death to life. An Israelite being a descendant of Jacob or a descendant of Abraham. This is all within the scope of the Bible. So for people that believe in the Bible, this is what they believe, and this is where they say that their forefathers are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name was later turned to Israel. So that's why they say that they are those who have crossed over. They are Hebrew Israelites, a descendant of Jacob, or descendant of Israel. So the community that resides in Dimona, Israel, is a very peculiar group of people where, again, it's in the name, it's in the title, the African Hebrew Israelite. You have a lot of Hebrew with Africa because they feel that Africans or Ham, right, sold us into slavery. This is the thinking of the ISUPK group that's in Pennsylvania and in New York. That is their train of thought, that the Israelites are the only ones that would inherit the so-called kingdom of God. And everyone else is simply Gentiles. So they shun the African, or they shun Africa. And they have very disparaging things to say about Africa. And it's like, it's ironic because if you are the so-called light of the world, if you are the only begotten son, and we're talking about Israel, right? The kind of language that they use, the kind of demeanor that they have towards the rest of the world, it's not God centered. It's not God like. And in the Bible it says, by their fruits you shall know them. So the group that I was affiliated with was, again, out of Chicago, Atlanta, DC, New York, and they resettled in Israel way back in '69. So the brothers that you see on the street corner with the funny looking clothes on, with the bullhorn screaming and yelling, and they got pictures of Jesus, and that's a whole nother sect of Hebrew Israelites. These are different worldviews. Yeah, they definitely, Don P, they distinguish themselves. They feel, and then you have this thing called the 12 tribe chart. So on this 12 tribe chart, they try to break down who, in fact, what group of people belongs to what tribe, and they fail miserably. It's just an attempt to create something, and it just don't make logic sense. Like the 12 tribes of Israel, how, from a genetic standpoint, how do you prove that you are in fact of the tribe of Judah? Different from Asher, you understand? Different from God. How do you be able to differentiate? You can't do it. It's impossible. And the only thing that they will cling on to is the Deuteronomy 28th chapter, the 68th verse, where it reads that I will cast you back into slavery, but this time by the way of ships, right? And you will be in a foreign land speaking a strange customs and dialect. And you will be sold unto your enemies as male and female slaves. And for over 430 years, that is the only thing that connects our people to what happened. That's world history. So I must say that it is very interesting to see that in the scripture, and it links up with world history. So again, when it talks about the high holy days, the way that they view the high holy days in the East versus how they do it in the Western cultures or hemisphere, you have people still sacrificing lambs. You have people still taking things literal. You understand? So how they do things in Dimona or Israel is more symbolic. Case in point, you have one of the high holiest days called Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, we all know, is the Day of Atonement, right? Anyone that you might be at odds with or have conflicts with, this one time a year, you have the ability to get with that person to wipe the slate clean. But it is really a reminder that before the sunset, if you're at odds or have disputes with your brother, got an insect on here, that you nip it in the bud before sunset. You understand? So it's more of a high holy day for you to get yourself in order with your fellow man, with your people and your environment, and ultimately, okay, your God. But what Don P finally entered the studio. Don P, cut on your camera, brother. I can't see you. I gotta be able to see you before I bring you on. Don P is saying that your devices are not connected. So go ahead and try to connect your mic and your camera before you come on. So Don P, I just put you out so that you can connect your mic and your audio and then re-enter the studio. So again, most folks, they take these things literal. And it's really a symbolic thing. So a lot of people, oh, you know, you didn't approach anyone for Yom Kippur, man, something must be wrong with you. And it's like, no, man, I ain't at odds with nobody. Like, why would I have to pretend to be beefing with somebody to observe Yom Kippur? These things are in place, supposed to be in place for man to get himself right. You're not doing it. The Creator is good. God is good. God don't need you to do Yom Kippur. So again, the high holy days are supposedly for man, not the other way around. So you got a scripture that said that it's going to come a day where God put the law in our inward parts. So a lot of these Hebrew camps, you would see the brothers wearing big ornaments on their head and big fringes and cords of blue, walking around looking like a Marvel character, looking like some type of superhero. That's because, again, they are taking things literal. So you got, and it varies from camp to camp. You have some camps that are strictly plant-based, vegan, in harmony with Genesis 1 and 29. No problem, Don P. Nah, you ain't disturbing me. Huh? Give me 1 second, family. Jaliv. Got some, you talking about technical issues. We got some technical issues here in the village. We ordered 2 5-gallon waters. I put it in the dispense, and then I see something floating in the water. I'm like, ah. And then we cooking food, and then we're like, hold on. There's no, all the gas is gone. So we got another gas tank coming. These are the type of things that you got to have on deck when you are off grid or quote unquote living in the village. So again, family, the different camps do different things. So you have, particularly the group in Israel, they are a plant-based community. So the 6,000-7,000 people that's there, they are all plant-based, based off of Genesis 1 and 29. Genesis 1 and 29, if you got a Bible, you can Google it yourself. It reads, it says, I'm off the top with it, so forgive me if I miss it a little bit. Genesis 1, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up since I'm here. It said that God gave humanity all seed-bearing plants and trees with fruit for food. You understand? Let me read a different one. Because you know, different Bibles vary a little bit. It said, and God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. So he's simply saying that that is God's fingerprint, the seed. So you're able to take the seed, plant it in the earth, and it reproduce itself. So it said that for you, that will be food. You understand? So you have other camps. They eat animal and animal byproducts. They just stay away from hooved animals and also from sea creatures like shrimps, lobsters, you know, scavengers. Give me one second. Part of the problem with the Bible is the interpretation of it. Yeah. Some will even go to say that the Bible itself is the problem. If it's such a spiritual, well put together, prophetic book, it should not have a copyright. And a lot of the thou shalt not begotten, that's Greco-Roman / Latin language. And it's like, what are we talking about? This is an East African history book, supposedly. It is for less well-rounded because of the books that were removed from it, the books of Enoch, 1 and 2, and the Gnostic Gospels. Yeah. So there you have it, family. Like, and we can go on and on and on. We can take a deep dive, and you would see that they definitely are not in sync with each other. They are not on the same accord. Just like even in Christianity, there are so many denominations out there in the earth. It's ridiculous. Also, if you're dealing with Islam, there are different sects of Islam. You have the Sunni, you have the Orthodox. You understand? It goes on and on and on. So many people will look at the brothers on the street corner with the spikes and the big lion doorknobs on their head, and they would deem, in fact, that those are the people. Those are one sect of the people that they call Hebrew Israelite. Baraka, bless you. Baraka is actually also a Kemetic word as well as Swahili meaning blessing. It translates as may the spirit and soul of Ra be with you. Man, appreciate that, Don P. That was fire. Fire, fire. So we just up here, family. Just riding the wave off of our show speed. You know, and they take it from an Israelite or hear it from an Israelite, they'll tell you, oh, I show speed is Israelite. Yeah. Whatever someone's perspective is, they're always going to try to tailor the narrative to their worldview. This stuff, when you really sit back, family, and you just observe and listen to people, the world is literally a stage, man, with a bunch of actors, and stuff just be funny, man. Stuff just be funny. And it's like I don't have no issues with Muslims, Christians, Hebrew Israelites, whatever it is that you call yourself. Just be good at it. Yeah, that whole chosen people. Don P, I always say, like, who was chosen? Now, if you was chosen to be a light unto the world, that meant your responsibility was to go out and redeem the world. So who is more sacred, you or the world, or the people that you're going to serve? You understand? So we take so-called power, or the illusion of power, or you're better than, or you're the chosen, as that you're better than and set aside. If you take another deep dive in the Bible, the so-called Israelites was always haughty, stiff-necked, hard-headed, wicked. You go down the list, but you all are, or they are special. Stuff is crazy, man. They are chosen. I said that humanity itself is a very sacred thing. All manner of people, from the Japanese all the way down to the African, and everyone in between, is sacred and have their contribution to this beautiful forest of knowledge and wisdom. Everyone has input. And once you see the world like that, you're able to step in it and engage everyone. Not out of ignorance saying that, oh, I'm the chosen, so you understand, I'm better than people. Nah. Nah. Lose me with that. There's a brother called Tariq Nasheed who has egg on his face because of the light being shown on Africa. Absolutely. You see what I Show Speed is doing? He tore Kenya up, Nairobi in particular, like set it on fire. That whole FBA conversation gone. He's in Ethiopia dancing with the brothers there, doing the Ethiopian dance with the neck and all that. And one of the brothers just, man, embraced him and just started hugging him. They had to hug for about 10 minutes straight, literally. Just, and you could tell I Show Speed was like, it was one of those moments. He closed his eyes and he just let it be, you know. Yeah, I know he FBA, but that whole FBA paradigm is a bunch of nonsense. I Show Speed. And somebody jumped on one of my videos and was like, man, you all are on here and you're not building and doing this and doing that, and y'all are on here talking about I Show Speed. Y'all need to be out there building. And it's like, whoa, what an ignorant statement. What an ignorant statement. Because if you really was on the ground here, there's a lot of stuff that we don't even put on YouTube. There's nothing wrong with highlighting what the young man is doing. With all of this infighting going on within the black community, there's nothing wrong with lifting up the young brother. For him bringing our people together. Yeah, black people talk from their couches. Chatting. Don P said, I've been debating with a brother telling him it's not about the so-called menstrual show, it's about the effect he doesn't even know he has on his audience. That's how it be. It said, be aware that you entertain angels unaware. Folks don't even know who in their presence. Black, come on for a minute. What's going on? The gas man hit? Mm-hmm. All right, where you going? You can't bring that up here.
Oh, I thought I could get Patrick to help me while you live.
Okay, but you gotta give him this one.
Oh.
Give me a second, family. Tell Patrick come up here.
Okay. The guy's coming. Patrick, can you come get the empty one? Or the guy's coming up.
Huh?
The guy is.
Charlie, the gas man came, family, so I'm receiving this gas tank real quick. There's a lot of spiritual significance in a young man like him coming back home. Absolutely. Give me 1 second, Pete. Something pressure.
Okay, okay.
Send money, huh? Okay. 4-5. 28. This it, Eric?
Yeah.
Oh, you do this, okay? Everything so fast.
You see my number.
I have you,
The
yeah.
other one, the Airtel number.
Yeah.
Sometimes it have some.
So use this number?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, the one you sent me the money.
I'll save it, okay?
Yeah.
All right, see you soon.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yo. Sorry about that, fam. I'm back. Don P said that feeling that many returning brothers and sisters have when they touch the soil, that's not a coincidence. That is literally the reawakening of your ancestral spirit in the motherland. Thanks. I tell you guys, my very first West African country I've been to was Ghana. I was 25 years old, and there was a brother that I was introduced to at the time named Rofe Novoniel. He was actually a year younger than me. He was a doctor. And the kind of pull that this young man had in the country was amazing. When I first landed, he came through security, got me out of the line, and walked me straight out of the airport. Facts. And how he was moving. I remember we was going to the Volta region, and we had a few hours bus ride up there. And we were just talking about the Bible and the story of Joseph. And he actually didn't know the story of Joseph. And when I was articulating it to him, he was just sitting back, man, just taking it in, not knowing that on that weekend he was teaching a class. And as I was sitting in the class, everything that I shared with him about Joseph, Black, the link is at the top. I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna put it right here. Hold on. I just put it back in. It's right under your text. How sharp Navonia was. What I shared with him about Joseph, he made it into an entire class. An entire class, family. So just moving around Africa, long story short, we went to Cape Coast. He introduced me to a naturopath doctor. At the time, he was about 83 years old. Lie to you not, this 83-year-old doctor, he was also a painter, and he administered and distributed natural remedies to the locals. And I said he was 83, but he looked and moved If you guys see how I look now, you know, for those of you who don't know, I'm 52. So he looked like me then at 83. You understand? Very intrigued. So met him, went to Cape Coast, went to what's the name of this forest? I want to say the Karoo Forest. Brother Samal, do you mind if I post a link from YouTube talking about Joseph being? I'm gonna tell. Yeah, go ahead. Don P, this the digital village, Don P. I know your energy, my brother. Do your thing. We went to the forest and we walked across a bridge that was above or the top of the tree line. That was fire. Black, on your camera, black. Yo, that's a fire environment, bro. Tell real quick. Tell the family, man, what you got there in Maryland, bro. The store that you have. What do you all do there? I think your mic is muted.
No, the mic not muted. I'm hearing it twice. Hold on. Let me stop this somehow.
Say it again.
I'm hearing it playback.
I'm only hearing you one time. So go ahead. Now, what I'm saying on my end, I only hear you one time.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, yeah. So look, up in here in Maryland, the DC area, we have a health store, a health and wellness store that sells a lot of like herbal teas and look, just to be honest with you, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Okay, we cater to the Black community. Okay, we make stuff for Black people health problems. Okay, so if you got high blood pressure and stuff like that, diabetes and high cholesterol and any of the normal Black people problems, we have a solution to some of those problems. You know, natural herbs. For us, it works. So that's our whole thing, targeting on the Black community, trying to help Black people get rid of all this sugar and some of this other stuff they got going on, just to help Negroes. You see the artwork in the back, right?
Yeah, man, that's fire, bro. And that's framed up, right?
That is framed up. That ain't it too, sir. Look at it.
Fire, fire, fire. Those of you who don't know, those are a couple of our art pieces from right here in Kenya.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was you have going on with this Hebrew thing?
Say it again, bro.
What was you just really discussing about the Hebrews?
We were simply talking about how different camps believe different things. Just like with Christianity, you have a lot of denominations. Within Islam, you got a lot of different sects. So a lot of people think and assume that when you see the brothers in New York doing their thing, acting loud and on their bullhorn, that's they blanket the whole situation or like, oh, those are the Hebrew Israelites. And I was simply sharing with them from my experience being in Israel. Situation.
That was
Hey,
me.
Black.
That was
Yeah,
me.
okay.
I got it.
So I was just explaining to them from my experience, like, and I've seen all spectrums. You know, so I was just sharing with the family how things are different.
Tazariak and them, all them guys.
And my thing is, black, like, that was Rama.
I thought it was he called, but it wasn't.
My whole thing is black, like, I don't care what people call themselves. You could be Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, Baha'i, whatever. Just be able to relate and commune with other people and not feel that you better than. Because we all on this ship called Earth together.
They're not realizing that though, dog. It's
I
like
know.
look at Elon. They say Elon throwing up Nazi salutes all day yesterday. Nobody can. It's
But what is that though?
I think it's
To throw up
all.
a Nazi salute, like what is he really trying to do?
Look, I just heard they worried that they're gonna lose the population. I think they thinking about 50 years. All the go ahead. I say I'm thinking about 50 years. I think they think the blacks and the Mexicans, all the brown people, gonna kill the white people once they lose. That's what I just saw somewhere. Once they lose their what you call it what's they call it population, because they I guess they have the numbers on the population right now. It's more than them than anybody, I guess. But in the next 30 years, it's gonna change. I think it's the more brown people gonna populate the earth than white people. So I think they think that something that blacks gonna attack them or something. Brown people gonna attack them. Like we gonna treat them like they treated us. That's the fear.
Yeah,
Brown people,
I don't think we got the capacity.
we don't.
Because here's the thing, like me personally, I feel that there are different species of people on this planet.
Yeah.
And black people at the core, we the caretakers. We got that real human empathy. There's nobody gonna look at them, take them out, kill them, plunder, pillage. That ain't our energy like that. I'm talking as a whole, as a people.
It ain't.
They are more cold-blooded, reptilian-like type vibe.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, look, I just wanted to jump on for a second, man, to show off my new art pieces.
Hold on. Somebody else jumping on.
Don, sir, Don P.
Greetings.
Don P, peace up, my good brother.
It's good to finally reconnect with both of you.
Turn your mic up a little bit.
Hold on. Is that better? Can you hear me?
We hear you better.
Yeah. No, it's good to reconnect with both of you. I've been watching I've been following your YouTube channel for a while, and we're on the same wavelength when it comes to discovering, self-discovery and the Rasta path and everything. So big up to you, brother Samal. Big up to your brother over there with the beautiful artwork. And yeah, it's just good. I just wanted to come on because usually when you're on, I'm at work or I'm doing something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to connect.
My wife always said, man, why don't Don P come on? I said,
Don P, I be seeing your name all the time, sir. Seeing what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think we're all similar ages as well, which, there's nothing big to that, but then, similar life experiences in terms of living abroad and the spiritual path that we've been on. I think it's important for people from the continent and from the diaspora to connect in such discussions because we have much more in common. In fact, we have everything in common. It's really just the illusion of the colonizer that makes us believe that we are different. So I think channels like yours are very important because I always try and support our brothers and sisters who are coming back home because people do not realize this is actually something that was spoken about and even foreseen by our ancestors a long time ago. That, the brothers and sisters that were taken by the colonizer would come back eventually. because everything is cyclical. But yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to monopolize the conversation. I just wanted to come on and say what's up.
Don P, we glad that you're here, my good brother.
Yeah.
And Black Don P, he's very astute on comedic
I could tell.
information.
I seen it.
Don P, this brother here, Richard Black, he was the one who kind of introduced me to Kemet.
So now
So
let me
go
just
ahead.
to explain briefly. So like my Kemetic beliefs comes from years of soul searching for the spiritual path. So I've been a born again Christian. I followed Buddhism. I read the Tao Te Ching, Chinese philosophy, Zoroastrianism. And what you realize after a few years of living on this earth is that everything comes back to source, which is Africa. Everything. Like even the color black itself encompasses all other spectrums of colors of all shades of races. So even white people, Asian people, whatever people they are, they all originate from here. So really, when I was searching for all these other answers, the last place I looked for was where I come from, which is Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm still searching. Nobody ever knows all the answers spiritually, so we can never claim that. But it's always good to have the humility to acknowledge that you're still searching.
It's
Don
funny
P,
to say. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead, Black. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say the same. It's kind of, I'm the same, in the same boat, and a lot of people I talk to is in the same boat. You start off one place, and then you end up somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? It all comes back home, man. Everything. It all. I don't care what the religion is. I don't care what the text, the language. It all comes back to Africa. All of it.
Exactly.
Everything. The little Twa people, the leprechauns, the anything you see, the goddamn Grand Canyon. Okay, everything, in my opinion, go back to Africa for somehow. It's people. All this division in America with what foundational blacks and was Indian niggas and all this other stuff. To me, it's the most ignorant shit I ever heard, because Nick, it all go back to Africa. Ain't no. We not from the northern hemisphere.
This is the reason why, when Brother Samal was talking about I show speed, it's the reason why a lot of people, especially even my own brothers and sisters in Kenya, have to have the tolerance and the patience to not just judge, like and say, oh, it's a minstrel show. I show speed is coming here to make to act the fool. And even if his original intention, which I don't think it was, or his people's intention was to portray Africa in a certain light, this is the power of the ancestors, because whatever intention that you have, they have the power to turn it into something positive. And so a lot of people who are criticizing Aisho's speed, yeah, it's I'd never really even heard of him before he came.
Me either. I didn't either. A couple of weeks ago, for real.
Yeah, I'd seen some of his videos, and interestingly enough, it's something I posted in the discussion we had on the chat. His father, just before he went on this tour, said that he doesn't consider himself African.
Oh Lord.
That his mother was Jamaican, and so his lineage is Jamaican, and there's no links to Africa. That was just before I Show Speed came. Now, if you watch his videos, the father's videos, you can see something clicking, slowly turning. The wheels are turning in his head to say, look at how my son is being received. And so when I say that the power of the ancestors is beyond human will, I think you can see that, because even if the people who organize this trip, we all know how the colonizer works. They try and portray Africa in a certain light. And so, let's send this young kid over here to act the fool and show the mud huts. But we're entering into a period of time now where there's a big awakening happening, and people who might have different intentions, even their intentions are being shone on in a different light.
It's definitely, this is the age of Aquarius, man. It's definitely a serious awakening happening. It's definitely a serious awakening happening. It's just going to take time. And for me, I just realized that, I'm not trying to force it on nobody. I'm just doing my part. And for people who understand what I'm trying to say, maybe they'll come along and just hear what I got to say a little bit. I'm definitely not trying to force it, but I think people are slowly but surely just getting on board, it's something in the air, especially with all this division and turmoil right now. I mean, people just gotta really step outside themselves and look around, see what's happening, man, because none of this stuff makes no sense. New Year's is it in December, January when it's cold. That don't make no sense. You know, we over here celebrate Christmas is the birth of a baby Jesus. That don't make no sense.
And his
Yeah,
birthday
we
is December the 25th. And
25th,
like, come on, man.
and we steadily
Stop.
going for it, man. I mean, I believe Christmas and all these holidays are just economic stimulus packages for America, man. Every quarter we got something. Easter, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, every quarter.
Now,
You
here's the
know,
interesting thing, brother. Sorry, your brother in Cleveland. I haven't caught your name properly.
oh
You call him Black all the time. Yeah.
yeah, man. I'm super black.
I'm sorry, I haven't caught your name, but yeah, man, it's a pleasure to talk to you. But
It's a
you're
pleasure to
so
you
right,
too, sir.
because, like, even if you look at it from the Kemetic perspective, and I apologize, I always bring up the Kemetic perspective, but I consider myself a Chem first and foremost, so I don't really have to apologize for that. But even if you go back to the ancient times with our ancestors, this period of time in which they call December was actually a period of time when we were supposed to be fasting. Yes, the Ankh. If you have the Ankh, then you know already the cycle of life. But the colonizer has a way of inverting everything. So the period of time when we're supposed to be fasting is the time when we're actually overindulging during the Christmas period,
Yeah.
And that is how they do things. They flip things
Everything, man. That's the issue.
180 degrees to confuse you.
For me right now, everything is flipped. Almost everything. And people don't understand. I mean, everything is upside down. And people really don't understand it. You know, it's sad. We on the opposite side of what we're supporting and don't even know it. You know, we helping our enemies just like America. We celebrating big corporation right now, and big corporation don't care nothing about the poor man.
America is a corporation. The United States of America itself is a company.
That's right.
But many
Oh,
people don't know that.
the whole Western package is nothing but money.
It's
Now,
number
P, let
one.
me ask you this. We're like Ibrahim Traoré moving the way he moving. The young brother in Senegal, the president. You got Mr. President in Uganda, young man doing big things. You got the guys like ISO Speed, like you said, the ancestors is pushing them in a whole nother kind of spirit. What do you envision for Africa and its people slash black folks in America for the next 5-10 years? How you think our how do you envision that? Where is it going?
I see it exactly how Brother Black sees it. We're coming back home. Like, our brothers and sisters are coming back home, and this is like the Brother Black talks about the age of Aquarius. That's actually a real thing, because life is cyclical. So, we've been through a period, and this is something that we are taught as Cam all the time. You go through these periods because we have something called the Heru Seth paradigm. I hope, forgive me if I'm getting too technical.
Come on, bro.
But you have periods of time in history which are good, and periods of time in history which are bad, and everything is cyclical. Time is cyclical.
Yeah.
The Western construct makes us believe that time is linear. So that's why everybody believes that when you're born, you live and you die, and that's it. Doesn't make any sense. So I say all that to say that I agree with Brother Black in terms of the fact that all we're witnessing now, like with you, the Artist Journal, J Cafe, and all these other people coming back, it's something that was preordained. Our brothers and sisters are coming back. Africa will rise. And we went through a period of time when the forces of evil were in power. And now it's just we're coming into that natural cyclical period of time when the forces of good are coming back. And what that means is the upliftment of Africa and the return of our brothers and sisters who were taken in slave ships. I honestly think it's that simple. Now, there'll be difficulties around that. There'll be mindsets and things to break down and paradigms. And this is why I really like channels like yours, because people in America can see that people in Africa have no hatred for our brothers and sisters. Why would we hate our brothers and sisters? That's self-hatred. And me hating on somebody who's come from shores that they were stolen from doesn't make sense, because you might be a cousin of mine from generations ago.
That's what my wife says all the time, man.
Yeah, so I would be fighting against my own blood. For all that to say that Africa is on the rise, and it's been talked about for centuries, even before we were around. That's all we're witnessing now.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
that
it also it's a I'm sorry, sir, but it's a reemergence of consciousness. You know, we coming back into the light. You know, some people, their light is a little dimmer than others, but soon, you know, it'll that spark will come. You know, and that's the real Christ. So, you know, that spark will come. So, you know, I believe that it'll happen eventually. You know, I may not see it in my lifetime, but I just hope, like Tupac, man, I could spark, you know, like that spark in somebody so they could feel it. You know, that's why I come, you know, hard with the way I say what I say, man. I don't have no
Yeah.
cut calls.
And even to jump onto what Brother Black is saying, even like the mentioning of Christ, and this is something that Brother Samal has talked about before, is this thing of taking everything too literally. You know, like even Christ is a it comes from a Greek word which came from a Kemetic word, which was Christos,
Christoph,
and it's a kind of anointing oil, and it
it's the
just
oil.
describes the spiritual awakening. So
Yes.
it's things like that. I don't want to
It's
get
hard,
too. I don't.
it's too hard to difficult. It's too hard to
Yeah, there's a
comprehend
lot
for a
of
lot of
depth.
people, man.
Yeah, so we just have to get ourselves unentangled from this web that they have put us in.
This
And
the thing though. I realized with look, and I don't want to offend nobody, okay? But black people and white people don't think the same or talk the same, or when you express yourself, it's not the same. The Kemetic people back in the day left, I want to say, instructions for their kind, for their peoples, for the future. That's what, to me, that's where all hieroglyphics and stuff are. You had some invaders come in and try to interpret it and give their meaning of it. And see, like right now, we dialecting their meaning. We understand what the white people say it means, but that may not really be what all the hieroglyphics say, man. You know, it's an awakening for us. You know, you can go through all the hieroglyphics. It might say what it say, but then you may have one black person that come up and see it in a completely different light, and it says something completely different. They
now
don't. They
here's the
don't.
interesting thing, brother. Those hieroglyphics, there's actually people, and it's part of the community that I'm involved in, because I'm still an initiate. Those come from the mystery schools,
Yeah.
and those mystery schools are mentioned in the Bible. You know, Euphrates, the Temple of Euphrates, and the Temple of I can't remember the other one in the Bible. Those still exist. People don't realize that. Those temples are in West Africa, and the Dogons have maintained them. And so even the interpretation of the hieroglyphs is something that can still be done to this day. It's just that the Dogon, you have to approach them because they know that this information is very sacred. So like even the interpretation of the hieroglyphs, there was a French guy called Champollion who tried to do it in 1798.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where all the interpretation of the hieroglyphic language has come from. But there's so many mistranslations.
So yeah.
So what, like brother Black is saying, we are now in the position of having to try and interpret our history from the white man, which is what they wanted all along. So that information is still there in the Dogon temples. We just have to seek it.
Yeah, Don P, what you got like an online school, or you said the
Yes.
group that you're with is it
Yes,
online?
so it's they have an online school, and this is how you know that these guys are genuine. Anybody who is from Africa, the classes are free. This organization is actually based in Chicago, but it's run by people from the Dogon tribe in West Africa. It was founded in '98. So it's free for people who come from Africa, and for those who live in the States, it's a nominal fee to join the tuition course. But you're getting the information from the actual Dogon from centuries. They have maintained this information since, we're talking about 150,000 years.
Yep.
And the first pyramid was actually about 130,000 years, built by Imhotep. So you can see how long a history that they have for preserving this information, and it's even mentioned in the Bible. We just have to seek it. So you see, even information like this, not many people knew this, but even this coming out now just shows you it's the sign of the times. We are in that age of Aquarius where all of this information is coming to light.
The only problem is the age is like 2,600 years. So, age is a long time.
Yes.
So it's going to take a long time. Even
gonna
though
take a
we're
long
in the
time.
age, we just at the beginning part of the age. The age is going to last a long time. So consciousness is going to take a while for everybody.
Exactly. And brother, that's a very important point, because the way we have been conditioned in terms of time, because the average lifespan is maybe 70 to 90 years, we as human beings think that, the change is happening, we might see it in our lifetimes. But we have to have the humility to know that what we're doing now is really for our children and our grandchildren, because that change will take a lot of time.
It's all about, for me, it's all about the transfer of the DNA, man. Because I'm hoping however I feel in my mind, I hope that go through my grandsons or my granddaughters, and they still have the same feeling. That's why, for me, that's why I try to go a little hard with it, so they can know my conviction, how I really feel.
And what you've said, Brother Black, is 100% spot on, because in Chem, we say it's all about the DNA and the bloodline. Now, the powers that be use the DNA and the bloodline for their own purposes. That is why I usually wouldn't advise too many people to take these ancestry DNA tests, depending on which company runs it, because some of them will keep your DNA information forever and do whatever they want to do with it.
Maybe.
Because people don't realize this pigment that we call melanin is extremely valuable, even in the market, even in the black market where we are. So this information that we have now is really for our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. So it remains in our blood, so that when we do come back, because we will come back, we'll come back to a world that is, this is something that I have left for my children, and those brothers and sisters who were stolen from us in America and have come back. It's all about the DNA and the bloodline, and making sure you leave something concrete for those who come after you. And I think we all need that humility. It's not about us or, wanting to be famous or do this. It's about leaving a blueprint for a better future for our people.
Right. Yes, that's true.
And I have to say, I keep looking at your artwork, brother. It is incredible. That
Yeah, like I said, we sell a lot of art over here too, man. Luckily, Brother Samal gives us a lot of work.
Nice.
You guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Don P, you know what happened over here, right?
I know. Power cut.
Yeah.
I know.
Yo, that was the first time that ever happened, man. Damn.
So Don P, where you at? Where you at? Over there? You over in Africa, or you over here?
I'm in Africa. Yeah, I'm just outside Nairobi, in a town called Ngong.
Okay.
So I've been living here for the last 5 years. I went to the UK to do my university education in the late 90s. Studied for a law degree, ended up staying for 17 years, which was about 10 years longer than I intended to, because the Western economic model has a way of keeping you in that hamster wheel. Money, sleep, eat, drink, sleep, eat, drink, sleep.
Yeah.
And that kept me there for 10 years longer than I should have. But I came back eventually.
Right. The hamster damn wheel. That's what I'm on there. That's what I'm on there, the hamster wheel. Wow.
And I can tell you something, like, even having lived in the UK for 17 years, obviously I was coming back and forth visiting. It actually does something to your spirit, being in an environment that is not supposed to be for Black people. And I'm in no way one of these racist or people who doesn't have any white. I have some white friends, but I'm just telling you the facts of what I see.
Well, yes, definitely.
You know,
Definitely. And even being up there, I mean, think about it. Like they don't eat what you from the southern hemisphere. You're a sun child, a child of the sun. The sun kissed you in your head every day. You know what I'm saying? Up there, it's not like that. And the food is different.
yep,
You know, you eat in northern hemisphere cold food.
yeah,
That's not made for us.
yeah.
You know, I heard by just being there changes you may help change your DNA because
It does.
you're not supposed to be from there.
I'll tell you something, brother Black. Like when I was there, every summer is the first time in my life I ever experienced hay fever. You know, these allergies. And I never knew what hay fever was. I had no allergies when I was in Africa growing up as a child and everything. When I got to the UK, all these allergies and ailments started affecting me. And I hadn't placed it to the fact that I was actually in the UK as opposed to being back home. But as soon as I came back home to Africa, my hay fever allergies just disappeared. It does something to you being in an environment that your spirit is not meant to be, whether it's in the UK or the US or wherever it is.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
hear
why I
you.
was saying in the chat, like a lot of people talk about this when they come back to Africa. The moment that they set their feet on the soil, something happens to them. That's actually just a spiritual reawakening of your ancestral harmony within your body. Like when people land in Africa and they say, "Oh, I felt it, and I was born and raised here." When I first came back, maybe not as powerfully as our brothers and sisters who were taken away, but when I first came back in 2015, there's something that shifts within you that you can't describe. You
I
really
can believe.
cannot.
I know a lot of people who felt like that. I never been to West Africa, and then I just went to Egypt. But I can imagine. I already know. I get off that plane. I already know. For me, I mean, look, I went to West Virginia and felt a funny kind of way. So I know if I go to Africa, I already know. I already know it's an issue with
And
everybody.
if you come to Africa, you have a room here, man. I'm in the spare room, so
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
You have to come back, man. You have to.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, and I appreciate everything y'all doing too. Brother Small, Don P. I'm just blessed and happy for the conversation, man.
Me too. Me too.
Okay,
It's been good to
okay,
connect with you guys.
Brothers, we're gonna wind this one down. We hitting an hour.
okay.
So Don P, appreciate you coming through, showing some love like you always do, man. Likewise, Black. Any
Thank
closing
you.
out? Any closeout words, Black?
Yeah,
You
hey,
got,
Don P. Yeah, Don
you got a
P.
sale going on. You got a sale going on, or what?
Oh yeah, I got a sale for art, beautiful artwork I just got from Kenya. Some of the I can't show everything, especially this one. This my number one piece right here. I call that Uptown Youngin.
Nice. Nice.
Hey,
DC.
Black.
Yeah.
What about any CMOS products, man?
Well, the
You
CMOS
got a
for
little
us.
discount going on for the CMOS.
Well, look, for the CMOS, for us, this is how we do it. We sell ours. We have ours in a gallon. We do ours like this. We mix our CMOS with hibiscus, ginger, and turmeric, and we stretch it out. We make a gallon full instead of just having a gel. And we, like I said, we mix it with hibiscus and ginger, and that kind of manipulates the palate where you can't taste the sea moss so much, but it confuses the palate a little. The ginger, the hibiscus, the turmeric, everything else. That's how we do ours. So we have a sale for this.
So if somebody wanted to grab one, who they need to contact?
Well, the problem is if you want to grab one, this is a liquid. So I will have to figure out shipping it to you and everything because it's got like a 3-week expiration on it. We don't use preservatives. So the only thing I could do is freeze it depending on your location. To be honest with you, I don't even know how we would do that.
But you got a lot of dry products as
Oh
well,
yeah,
right?
yes.
Spirulina.
We got a lot of dry products like moringa seed, but we mostly have teas, like herbal teas for different health issues like high blood pressure, respiratory, female hormonal balance teas, stuff for
So
the prostate.
where can people reach you?
You can thank you. You can reach us at Levid Natural Herbs at Big Cartel, and on Google, just Levid Natural. Or you could reach out to me, call me directly at 202-300-3182. I get you anything you need. And I appreciate the shout out, sir, and Don P. Man, you stay safe down there, and it's good to have a brother down there, and I appreciate you, sir. I be seeing everything you say.
I appreciate
Let
you
me
as
put
well.
in the chat real quick. What's the website?
Levid Natural Herbs,
Spell it for me.
LaVieNaturalHerbs at Bid Cartel,
All right, say
BID.
it one more. Say it one more time.
Levid Natural Herbs, LIVIENATUR NATURALS Herbs HERBS at Bid Cartel.
Got you. Okay, excellent. John, we just put it in the chat. The website is in the chat. Don P, any closeout words, my brother? You got a website, Don P? You got a store in Nairobi?
No,
You got
no,
any
no.
products?
Just here for the support. Just to explain, I don't know if you can see my name on the screen. Zawaji. Does it say that? Or
Yeah, Zawaji.
yeah. So just to explain, that is my initiatic kinetic name. So that is the name that you get after you finish the first stage of initiation. And what the Dogon priests do is that they do a ceremony which is called interrogating the earth to find out what your earth name is, which is a story we can get into another time. But I just want to say big up to Brother Black. What you're doing is very important. Health is wealth. And so people cannot function if their stomachs and their bodies are not functioning properly. And so you are providing a service for people that need it, especially in America. I know you guys are poisoned to the gills with your FDA regulations and the food that you guys can eat. So big up to Brother Black, big up to you, Brother Samal. And I really enjoy your live streams and your talks. Sometimes I could just be at work or even at home on the weekend. And you'll have a video and you'll have a vlog of just walking through Diani. That's very therapeutic. And, so big up to both of you. I really appreciate both of you. And I hope, and your platform will grow. I can see it. It will grow exponentially. We just have to keep going. Consistency
I appreciate you,
and honesty will always get us to where we want to be. So big up to both of you.
You're doing a good job, Jay.
With that being said, brothers, K-Show. Tomorrow, Tunani K-Show, Don P.
All right.
Y'all be safe.
Yes, sir, brother.
Y'all be safe. Take care, y'all.
You too.
Likewise.